Okay. Figuring things out. Okay. Sure, this works. Oh, all right. Okay. We have okay, this is new. I believe everything is working. I'm trying to do this in a little bit different way. I'm trying to get to where I can potentially see comments. I don't know if I'll be able to see comments. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So let's see about that. Studio mode? No. Don't need that. All right, bear with me because I just can't figure out who is here. And so I really wanted to be able to see people's comments. So trying to figure out where I go. Is here and joined. I am just trying to figure out how I can see. Let's see. It says that we're live. Options. Oh. Will this work? Okay, I think this might be it. There we go. Okay, hi. There we go. All right, got people in here. Let's put this over here. So that you can see this. How's it going? Hello, going well. How are you? All right, I think I finally got this all coordinated. Trying to think. All right. Perfect. Okay. Sorry about that for everybody joining in. Using kind of a different setup because I'm going to open up a different window and show you, as I said, this is titled The 4 Factors of, coming out and living authentically. So I have a document I want to walk through with you guys, but yeah, so was just trying to get everything coordinated. I can now see comments, so I'll be able to answer and address those things. Yeah, so hi. All right, hello and welcome. Thank you guys for joining me today. As I shared, this video is going to be about the 4 factors necessary in coming out and living authentically. So in my own journey of realizing my sexuality and building my confidence to come out and live as my authentic self, and now even in my coaching and connecting with other women, I've developed sort of an authentic self framework and have realized there's sort of 4 necessary components that all work together in order for women to embrace who they are and come out and live authentically. So that's what I'm going to share with you today in hopes that it helps you on your own journeys. So anybody new here, tuning in, joining, just a little background. My name is Emily Better. I am a late life lesbian, and I'm the late life lesbian life coach. So share a little bit about my story. For me, I was married to a man for 11 years. We had a son together, and then over this time, I realized that I was truly, in fact, a lesbian. So for my ex-husband and I, we, of course, felt that the best decision in our situation was to get divorced and then lesbian. But with all of this and everything that I went through, I also now offer coaching services to other women on this journey going through all of this because I just understand how hard and emotional and stressful all of this is. But what I also understand is how amazing it is to get through to the other side of it all where you are actually living as your authentic self, because never in my life have I ever experienced feeling so free and content and at peace. So that is what I hope I can provide and bring to other women on this journey, because even though it's hard, it's absolutely worth it. So, all right, we are going to dive in. I'm going to start sharing this with you. I'm going to, let's see, to move this video out of the way. There we go. All right, now I want to start off with the factors that keep us from living authentically. So I'm going to share with you the 4 things that you need in order to, build this confidence and be able to come out and live as your authentic self. But I want to start off with the things that keep us from doing this. And these are things like fear, doubt, uncertainty, guilt, just having a decreased confidence, feeling lonely and isolated, often having a lack of support. This is one of the biggest things that keep us from really coming out is our fear, fear of what's going to happen, how's this going to look, doubt and uncertainty. So many women come to me and say, what if I'm not actually a lesbian? What if I'm wrong? What if I go through all of this and, it's this big mistake? And you're welcome. And what if like going through all of this hurts my family? And the guilt plays into that too, feeling guilty for, potentially hurting your husbands or male partners, or feeling guilty if you feel like the reason that your family is falling apart. So all of these things keep us living with this inner turmoil of what to do. Do I embrace who I truly am and come out and be my true self? Or because of all this fear and doubt and guilt and worry, do I stay where I'm at and just live with it? But again, we're going to talk about the fact that it really is, all of these things exist for a reason. All these things happen for a reason. But if you're able to work through it, that living as your authentic self is never a mistake. But these are the things that keep us from living authentically. So now we're going to go into the things and the framework that is the factors that you need in order to come out and to actually embrace who you truly are. So put this into a, I don't know if it's, sorry, I might have cut out there for a second. It looked like it just cut. Hopefully we're good. Okay, I'm going to keep going. But so living as our authentic self is showing up as we truly are, and despite opposition and despite like the hardships that we might face, is that we show up and we present and we are who we are, and so that is living authentically. So the framework I've developed is this kind of home framework, because my view is that when you live authentically, you are at home with yourself. You feel at peace, you are at home. And so living authentically is sort of this rooftop, like the top tier structure is being your authentic self. And then underneath that, in these areas down here are 4 components that make up living authentically. This is the structure, everything that sort of holds the home together. And these 4 things are understanding, mindset, self-work, and support. Now, all of these things work together, like I said, to sort of stabilize and hold together the home and keep it supported, keep the structure all together so that you can feel at home in yourself, living as you truly are. Now, the other analogy that I like with this is, like a home, homes take work. When you're a homeowner, homes require maintenance. There's times where you're going along, everything's smooth sailing, everything's working together great, but let's just say you have a really hot summer or something and your air conditioner goes out or needs some maintenance work done to it. So you have to focus on that and give it repairs. And this is the same with this framework. All of these things work together. And if you have, let's just say a weaker mindset, your home and how you feel at home with yourself isn't going to be as strong. And that mindset area might need a little work. If you don't have any support for your journey, this is going to be a little bit weaker, and you might have to look into options for support so that you fully can embrace who you are and present and live authentically. So this is the model that I like to follow because I feel like it just makes sense for sort of being at home with yourself and at home living as you truly are. So sorry, I have 2 screens going on, I keep going back and forth, but we're going to kind of go in a little bit more to each of these 4 areas too, and how they each are a part of the process of embracing who you are, coming out and living authentically. So the first, understanding. With coming out and living authentically, sort of the 2 components of this are understanding of both yourself and understanding of just the whole situation. So understanding of yourself, those are things like understanding, why this happens. There are actual legitimate reasons why women don't realize their true sexuality until later on in life. Those can be things like your upbringing, which may be a very conservative upbringing, a religious upbringing. For me, I had a Catholic conservative upbringing, and so I never really had exposure to homosexuality, or the exposure that I did have was typically negative, so this upbringing of those factors in my upbringing affected my ability to truly even realize and recognize that the things that I was feeling actually meant I was a lesbian, rather than just being straight. And other societal factors like compulsory heterosexuality and heteronormativity, the idea that just being straight is the way things are supposed to be, or how you're supposed to be, or just this sort of standard expectation. Those are all things that contribute to us not realizing this. But the more that we can understand those concepts and know that there's a reason why we go through this, the more it sort of builds our confidence in who we are and why this is happening to us. And then also understanding of the situation of things. I won't lie, this is hard. This is a hard situation. It's emotional, and there is the fear, and there is the guilt, and there is the worry. But if you can have more understanding of why those things are happening, fear is there to keep you safe. There is a psychology backing and basis for why we experience fear. Fear would rather keep you in a comfortable hell rather than allow you to go into an unknown heaven. Fear doesn't like the unknown. And all of this, going through this, is an unknown. So if we can understand the fear and where the fear is coming from, we can work on ways to overcome that and to understand that we can move through that fear to get to a better, happier place. The other aspect of understanding that's huge in this is grieving. Going through this journey is a huge life change. And for me and many of us who do choose that we need to leave our male partners in order to fully embrace who we are, we go through a grieving process. We grieve the loss of that life and of that relationship. And those stages of grief during this are normal and to be expected, because this is a big change. But again, doesn't mean we can't make it through, doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the situation. It's just understanding that this is normal, understanding what it is that we're going through. So the more, again, the more understanding that we have, the more that we can work through this, and the more that we can finally get to the being confident and living as our true selves. All right, on to mindset. So mindset is really kind of a simple thing. It's simple but very complicated, but breaks down more so into, do you have a positive mindset or do you have a negative mindset? And in this situation, it's very, very easy to have a negative mindset, to let the fear, let the worry, let the guilt, all of that creep into your mind and have all of these negative what ifs. What if this is a big mistake? What if I regret this? What if I'm not accepted? What if it's too late for me? All of these negative aspects are often a part of this, but for every negative, there actually is a positive. What if this is the best decision you ever make? What if you feel happier and more fulfilled and freer and at peace and content than you've ever felt in your entire life? What if if you are like me and choose to get divorced or separate from your male partner, what if you both find partners that fulfill you in ways you've never been fulfilled before? I know for me, that's absolutely what I've experienced in my life. I thought I was happy when I was married to my ex-husband, and I will say, we had a good marriage and I was happy in those moments. But now, like where I'm at now, being married to my wife, I am experiencing a level of happiness and contentment and peace that honestly didn't even know was possible to feel. Like it still takes me off guard at times to think like, wow, this is my life. Like this is who I am and how life gets to be. And it is just an amazing experience to get to have that. So when we're going through all of this, it's so important to kind of be aware of our mindset, to find those positives, to find things and to shift and sort of rewrite those negative thoughts that we have with the positive ones, because it is possible to work through it all, but it often takes that mindset of knowing it will be okay, knowing you will get through this, knowing that you will be happy and times will be good and everything will work out. So again, it's imperative to have that mindset to get to the confidence level of living authentically. All right, and then the other area of self-work is actions. What you're doing. It's action, it's doing something. So if you're just going to sit here and live with this inner turmoil and not actually do anything about it, you're never going to get to the point of living as your authentic self. So it takes work, it takes action, and it can be small things, just the act of increasing your understanding, just the act of implementing strategies every day to start to shift your mindset and sort of look at this from new and different perspectives rather than letting all of the fear and negative thoughts creep in, to try to start to look at the positives and to be grateful for this experience in life. Even creating a plan of action, or even just doing little things for yourself. So many women that go through this, or another reason that we kind of go through this is many of us are often people pleasers. We are living life for everyone else other than ourselves. So even the self-work can be starting to prioritize yourself and your needs in small ways each day, every day. Doing something for you and... Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments. You're welcome. But just the little things that you can do every day for yourself, is also necessary to, again, building confidence and getting to that point where you can start to show up and live as your authentic self. So you also have to take action. You have to do something about it. And then finally, support. So it is having just that, some type of support on this journey, whether it be friends, some type of community, a therapist, coaching, counseling, whatever it is. You need support so that you have a place where you can actually start to show up as your true self, where you can be open, you can be vulnerable, you can share your emotions, you can be who you truly are and be validated and supported in that. If you don't have some type of support, it's so easy to, just kind of keep all this inside. And the other thing with support too is if you don't have it and you don't have a place where you can be safe and feel validated, let's just say you understand, you've got a good mindset, you've done the self-work, and you're ready. So you take a step forward and you decide that you're going to come out to somebody. And let's say it doesn't go well. If you don't have support and sort of a support network and a system to kind of fall back on during those rough times, it's going to be so much easier for you to just take it all back and say, you know what, never mind, I'm just going to I take it back, I'll go back in the closet. And, and then you continue to live with this inner turmoil. And the thing is, this doesn't go away. I have worked with women who have gone through this, who at some point in their lives tried to come out, maybe when they were younger or at some point they tried to come out, but they were met with a not so great reaction. And they had no support system. They were doing this all alone. And so when they came out, they ended up taking it all back and going, oh, you know what? No, never mind. I take it back. I don't know what I was thinking. To then spend years sometimes kind of going through the motions again, but continuing to live with this inner turmoil until it gets to the point where they can't live with it anymore and they have to try to go through this whole coming out process again. But so again, that's why support. No. I don't know if this is working. I have no idea if anybody can hear it. It says it's disconnected and it's waiting. So I'll be back in just a second. See? Oh goodness, I have no idea. Reconnection successful. Verify it's me. Sorry, guys. No. Oh. What? So sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear me. This just went through a whole thing. Yes, this is me. Okay, hopefully this will be working. So sorry. We are live. We should be live. Hang on. I'm so sorry. Okay, it looks like it's working. You can hear me now. I got it on my phone. Looks like it's all right. Okay. All right, I will keep going. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Hopefully we can continue on. Everybody can still hear me. It's better. Okay. Thank you. Turn this off. All right. So we're going through support. I think that kind of wrapped up the area of support with this. So the only thing I have for you is kind of a challenge for you. So I want you to self-reflect. I want you to think about these things. I want you to think about how do you feel about your own level of understanding, your own mindset, the self-work that you're doing, and support. How do you feel? Do you feel you're understanding really what's going on and the process of coming out later in life? What is your mindset? Self-reflect. Do you feel you have a positive mindset to a lot of this? Or do you feel that you're someone who has more of a negative mindset and letting that fear and guilt and worry and all of that control you? What are you doing? What is the self-work? Are you actually working on your mindset? Are you working to, take steps forward? Are you self-reflecting on this journey? Are you deciding, even just figuring out what you want, making the decision of, this is what I know I want for myself is part of that self-work, because then you can start to take those little steps towards it. And then support. Think about your support system. Do you have anything in place to get support where you can actually start showing up as your true self? So think about those things. And then what areas do you feel that you're strong in? Are there any of these that you feel actually pretty good and confident about? And then are there any areas that you feel weak in? So this is something that you can kind of take away and reflect on and sort of help you figure out what you may need to do to move forward from here. Now, I want to tell you about, many of you may have been to my website, thelatelifelesbian.com. If you haven't, I have additional support and resources there available for you. One is the Late Life Lesbian community. This is a space where you can have that support in those group of people and women who are all on this journey to, connect with and gain that support from. Or I also have a 12-week coming out on the other side support program. This is going to be the best and the highest level of support you can get on this journey. It is direct support from me. It dives deeper into these areas of understanding and mindset and self-work, and the support clearly by having the direct support. You connect with other women on this journey in a small group chat area. We have weekly calls. So this is what's going to really help you get through this sort of journey and aspect of building that confidence so that you can come out and live as your true self. But again, I know not everybody may be ready for that, or just may not be an option for you to do it right now, but the community is a great place to start. And the other thing you can do is follow me on social media. I post a lot of content. A lot of people find help from there. So all my social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they're all at The Late Life Lesbian. So those are options too. And the other thing, email me. If you have questions, if you are thinking about joining the community or thinking about the support program, email me your questions. I am happy to answer anything that you decide to do for yourself. I want you to feel confident in. So if you have questions about it, you want some clarification, send me an email at thelatelifelesbian@gmail.com. Now, if anybody has any questions about this answer, sorry about technical difficulties, but we'll kind of go back to here. And I have chat on my phone, so we'll go from here and I'll kind of go through. But if anybody has any questions right now, I am happy to answer those. This will say too, should be saved and recorded, hopefully. With the connection issues, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out, but hopefully it is recorded and that it can be watched back. And for anybody that, if that does all work out for anybody that might be watching this back, leave comments below the video too. I do check those and I am happy to and will answer you there. Read through the comments. Everyone make sure you hit the, yes, thank you. Everybody hit the like button, please. That's great. Hello from Sweden. Hoping to join another. Oh, good night. Okay. All right, I'll give it just another minute, see if anybody has any questions. The connection might be being a little weird again. So, give it just a minute.